Hello, guys. How are you? This is Wednesday, 24th of April, and this is Kleros community call. Um, I don't know which number, but lots of them. And I think the main thing for um, update this week, but not the main thing, but one very important update. I will just ask William to tell us about his experience at Cambridge, as he was at the Cambridge Arbitration Day. Yeah, go ahead, William.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good conference, a good panel. Like I was on sort of the legal tech, sort of innovation and arbitration panel, and the other people, had sort of interesting thoughts about blockchain and AI. So it's like good discussions. And I feel I may have been the only non-lawyer at the conference, so it was sort of interesting to get see the rest of the conference and sort of interact with people and talk. But so that was good. I feel I spread the word of Kleros to a lot of people who already knew about Kleros, but some new people. So good opportunity.
Tell us a bit about what was your presentation about?
Yeah, I mean, just as sort of the elevator pitch about Kleros. Like, so the way the panel was formatted, each of four speakers had like a 10-minute intro and then 10 minutes of sort of back and forth questions between each other and the audience. So the 10-minute intro, I gave the basic summary of Kleros, and then because I felt that, as an audience of lawyers, they'd be particularly interested in things about like legal status and legal recognition, which is not my specialty, but I'm not a lawyer, I'm a mathematician. But I summarized the best of my ability. So I talked about like the Mexico case where sort of an arbitration clause was created that you cited, the arbitrator said that he would use Kleros as a tool, and then how that was sort of held up by Mexican courts, and then ultimately like the sort of recent Mexican legislation. And then I sort of broadly sort of talked philosophically about like how does Kleros differ from traditional ODR? What that apparently, according to the lawyers I talked to, means for our whether Kleros be recognized as like arbitration under the New York Convention. But then sort of like philosophically, like why is it like that? Like what are the advantages?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't need to have the recognition by New York Convention to do something useful, because even if you use Kleros as a mediation tool, it still can solve problems. This is exactly what is happening with the Lemon use case, where so the Kleros decision is not binding, so it counts more like as a mediation or expert opinion, like type of a decision. So, I mean, Kleros can solve problems even if it's not recognized. This is interesting, because actually Kleros can actually solve problems and provide a useful service, even if it's not recognized as arbitration by New York Convention, and even if it's not, smart contract enforced, because in the case of Lemon on all of the type of use cases of similar structure, the enforcement is not done through smart contracts, but it's done through some social mechanism, which is the recognition by the exchange or by the partner that they accept to enforce the decision by Kleros as it's done. So, this opens lots of avenues besides the discussion that we have been having since the beginning of the project about New York Convention and smart contract enforcement, because maybe this digital solution has a wider scope and provides a service at a different level as well. Okay, so I saw the pictures, and I have to say you look very good in a suit. Well, tell us a bit more about the update about research besides the Cambridge conference.
Yeah, so more broadly, the sort of some things that I've been talking about in previous research and community calls and continuing to work on. So I'm going to have a blog article soon. I promise. I've mentioned it before, but like blog article coming soon on like ideas of how one can adapt sort of mechanisms from the academic literature of peer prediction to potentially to help in cases where like different categories of outcomes win at very disproportionate rates. So if you have like a created list dispute where reject wins 98% of the time, our way of handling that in Kleros 1.0 so that it's not just profitable for someone who's always vote reject, is to have higher deposits, so that like the difference between someone putting in the effort to look at the case and not putting in that effort should be the difference between being able to profitably participate and not, like not being profitable by voting randomly. Which is great, but like this sort of just weighs the deposit approach to deal with this question, runs into an issue in that like the deposits are really high. It can become like a very risky proposition for people who might be risk averse. So there are some related ideas that don't completely solve the problem, but like partially address the problem that I will discuss in this blog article that you'll see soon. Other than that, apparently I'm going to be on a Twitter Spaces tomorrow with the Shutter community. So our ongoing idea to use Shutter and sort of threshold encryption to have votes that automatically reveal. So recall in the current version of Kleros, there is a parameter in the courts that turns on commit and reveal voting. So it is either on or off and can't actually be changed. Where when a new court is created, you can choose to have commit and reveal voting, to be more precise. Where this means that in order to like vote, you as a juror you like commit to your vote, and it's not publicly seen. The smart contract only sees a hash, and then you come back like whenever the voting period ends, and you get to the reveal period, and then you tell the contract what your vote actually was. You provide a salt, and like the contract can check that your vote plus the salt like hashed the thing that it saw before, so that you revealing what your actual vote was, and then counts your vote accordingly. And that's great, but like it requires 2 actions by jurors, which is sort of like a negative UX, and like it also requires you to pay gas twice, which can be a problem on L1. And a idea that we've had to help this UX problem at least is to use something called threshold encryption. There's conveniently this project called Shutter, which is developing very similar ideas, and we should be able to use their tool for this in Kleros, where basically when you commit to your vote, you will send like shards kind of your vote to like people in the Shutter community who will be collectively capable of piecing your vote together, but will not individually know your vote. So no single like entity is responsible for learning your vote and revealing when it comes time to reveal. Instead, you just sort of like distribute your entire vote over an entire community who have to work together. So there's still elements of decentralization. So this is something that we've been working with them to develop. And if you want to hear me talk more about this in their community, I will be on their Twitter Spaces tomorrow to talk about it.
We have been following Shutter since the early days of Kleros, almost, right? So it's good to see that the project is prospering and growing. How long have we been in touch with them? Like since 2018 or something, William?
Not quite that long. 2021.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean maybe late 2020. Maybe 2020. Like the first time we talked about them publicly was at ECC in 2021, and I think they had just gone live, and I had to like check that I was allowed to like talk about them. But someone from Gnosis had put us in touch with them before because they knew we had this problem, and they were aware that there was this project in stealth mode that could be able to be used by us. So there were contacts before that, but I don't think any earlier than 2020.
Yeah, so there you go. So it's good to see one of our partners growing as well. So this is a week of lots of conferences. I mean, I just come from Stanford for the blockchain governance conference we co-hosted with the blockchain Stanford Blockchain Club, which that's one of the conferences that will be remembered for a long time because it will be kind of a landmark, seminal conference which gathered all of the blockchain governance community from everywhere. I mean, we had people from Optimism, Arbitrum, Starknet. We had Glenn Weil, Morshed, Manan, all of the people from Blockchain Gov, Primavera de Filippi, Federico Ast, of course. We had Eric Alston. Well, all of the who is who of the blockchain governance space was there, and we got extremely high a good level, congratulations on the conference. It took a while, took a lot of effort to organize. I mean, Jan put a lot of work into that. It's hard to coordinate so many people. So it was awesome. And then after that, now this week we have a bunch of, William already mentioned he's speaking at a podcast or a webinar. And then we have today, we have at the Universidad de Tela a workshop on Kleros. We are co-hosting with Lemon on the Kleros for consumer use cases that we have discussed this many times, so I'm not going to repeat it now. Then we have tomorrow, I'm going to give a talk at the MOO about, it's going to be a different version of the presentation I gave at Stanford Blockchain Governance Conference about DAOs and what happens when there is a crisis in a DAO, and with some examples from what happened with Proof of Humanity. So it's going to be, I guess, fun. It's also going to take place at the room that is like a movie theater, so I'm sure that he will sell popcorn on the door, or hopefully, because it could be fun. So we have that. Then we have on Friday there is a governance panel at the MOO, and we also spend some time with members of the team who are from Buenos Aires at the MOO. The other day, the Friday, we went for dinner. We had this event organized by Lemon that we sponsored at the bar. So yeah, it was a quite of an interesting networking week. So yeah, also cool to have some FaceTime with some of the people who one works with, and you don't get to see them that often because of remote work. We also had a few moments before a quite interesting call with Marcos, and use case that is still in the nascent stages, very new one that is with using Kleros for dispute resolution in genetic information companies. There's a number of projects trying to build genetic databases like 23andMe. And so that 23andMe is this app or this company that you split into like a kind of a kit, and then you get your genetic profile done, and then this is then used by pharma companies to do research. But so this traditional centralized model has two problems. One is that all of the information from the DNA of lots of people get into like a centralized database that can be hacked, and actually some of those databases were hacked, and so very sensitive medical information was leaked, medical information from customers. And also the thing that pharma companies then use this information to do research, and the people who had their genetic profile done by the company, they don't monetize it. Imagine if you could have like a payment, so for each time that you have your DNA information used by a pharma company, to which first you gave authorization to do it, and then this is a different way to monetize your basically body information, and also this company stores that information into like very secure vaults for that only the person who is the owner of the vault can authorize access, and not the company. So it's a super cool use case of something that I think will definitely happen at some point. Still, in the early days, but we already are starting to explore this type of use case, and the type of disputes that you could expect is about who should be paid for the data used. There will be disputes about a person that claims that was not paid enough for the use of their data, So basically distribution of this information and the monetization of this information. A bit similar to another use case we have discussed in the past bit is this lawsuit between the New York Times and OpenAI, when New York Times is suing OpenAI because they used articles from the newspaper to train the models, and they didn't pay for those contents. So generative AI models, they take information from different sources and then they combine them in a different ways to produce some content. So, but those people who produce those contents, the original contents, they are not paid. So this is going to be like I think use case with quite a similar structure to this the genetic type of use case is going to be similar to that one. So yeah, just a first conversation for now. This is still really early stages, as I said, but it's good to start learning about these new types of use cases. Since we are speaking about business development, I will now let Marcos continue.
Well, thanks, Federico. We have some updates from the BD team. In first place, the Kleros Scout relaunch was done today, so that's good news. Then we have been in touch with 3 different Web3 marketplaces that they want to do a recognition of jurisdiction integration. One is called Lysis, the other one is called Denote Allows, and Smart Invoice. Smart Invoice is the one that is a bit more close to complete integration. We have been doing the dispute policy. So in the short term, new cases could be sent to Kleros. The thing here, of course, is that all that is related to Web3 marketplaces still has not a lot of adoption. So we are working, of course, with these integrations, but we don't expect to receive a big amount of cases as we could receive in the future from Web2 platforms. So that's of course a thing to have into account. Then today we are having a very important event in the University. I think, Federico, you didn't say nothing about this, right?
I mentioned it. Yeah, I already mentioned it.
Sorry, I forgot it. So, well, yeah, we're going to give it with the guys from Lemon. And then we are still working with court in a province from Argentina that we already mentioned. Now we are working, the Supreme Court of that province is working in something called Convenio Marco. I don't know what's the translation to English, because
contract, I guess.
Yeah, let's say contract. So this Supreme Court is working in a contract so that Kleros is able to resolve disputes in this province. So that's
maybe Argentina will be the second country after Mexico having decentralized justice as a legal method for dispute resolution. Who knows?
Exactly. Well, when this is approved, this is not a national law as it was the one in Mexico, but yeah, it's a very important step, and we are advancing there. So yeah, very bullish.
Good. Anything else, Marcos?
No. Then we're having touching with but the other things are really early. So let's leave them for next community calls.
Awesome. Thank you. I don't know, Juan is there. I don't know if he's there. Maybe he could comment something about the workshop at the university. No, I don't see him now. So, okay.
He was preparing today's workshop and presentation.
Okay, let's go to Alex then.
Oh, now is Juan here, but yeah.
Is it here?
Yep.
Okay, Juan, do you want to mention something about the workshop tonight?
Hey, everyone. Yeah, sure. Yeah, like basically, if you remember, like Mendoza workshop where we give a brief introduction to Kleros, because yeah, there are many people from the legal environment with hard like lawyer backgrounds, but without blockchain knowledge. So basically, we're doing an introduction from 0 to 100 into blockchain, Kleros smart contracts, and then exploring like Kleros use cases, in particular with Lemon, where like some people of team members from Lemon explain the actual integration benefits for them and what are the rationale behind using Kleros. And after that, we like replicate a real case from Lemon in our courts with people in a testnet environment, like similar to the B2 testnet. And yep, like the idea is that people are able to understand and see like the real use cases today in Argentina. And after we will grab some drinks. They are also probably in case some of here is coming. So basically that's the summary for tonight. And yeah, we expect like, I'm not sure how many exactly, but maybe 40 people. Hope so. Like there are more people that have registered, but yeah, generally in these kind of events, not all of that people go there. So yeah, we will see.
Awesome. Thank you, Juan. Other things about the marketing, we are revamping the website. Well, the current website is a bit old, and the different things happened since we built it. So there is a bunch of new updates we need to make, and we are doing for better communicating what Kleros is now and all of the new things that Kleros has now that didn't have when we did the website. I mean, we of course we added things on the way, but it ended up becoming sort of Frankenstein, with the different add-ons and patches. So now we are doing this from scratch. So this is taking a bunch of our time also. We are in conversation with a very, very important center of arbitration. I mean, at world level. I cannot mention much more because it's NDA stuff, but this is one of the most important centers for arbitration in the world. And doing something with them would be very, very important. I mean, maybe almost Mexico level important. So I will hopefully give you some more information in coming weeks if this can move forward as we hope. Then we we are launching now a new product, our relaunch Kleros Scout, a revamped interface, and then working on, well, as you know, Kleros V2, we are working on a lot of like the backend things now, that some things that you don't see. So there's not much to show, but it's optimizations for this to work. Curate 2.0. This is the background technology that we use for the Scout and all of the curation and compliance elements of Kleros that is being used by Etherscan, for example, MetaMask. So this we will probably have something to show in the coming weeks for people to start testing. And so we have Curate 2.0 and then Escrow 2.0 that also comes with a bunch of improvements that we also expect people to that we will deploy it for people to test also, I think, in the coming weeks. And so this kind of finalizes our renewal of the apps that were launched in the past, and we are migrating everything to the new stack that we are using now. So this is something on which the development team especially is focused. As you know, we have on board like 8 developers in the past few months. So we are now organizing the development process better than before. We have like lots more manpower that we didn't have, and so now we can work and develop much faster than what we used to, because we were a bit short-handed before. So this is why you are going to see in the coming weeks like a bunch of like launch of products that were a bit in a bottleneck before. A lot of the things that the team is working are not very visible because it's like backend optimizations, infrastructure, things that are important in the end, because when that fails, we get failures like for example, the notification is not working. But so now that we are taking care of that, it's going to flow much better. So that's mostly what the dev team is doing. And yeah, now I will let Alex comment a bit on his side.
I can say a couple words about regarding everything related to governance. So yes, you mentioned basically new product. Historically, we have this product called Kleros Snapshot module. We have decided to rebrand it a bit and add some new features. So the idea now is we will focus on Kleros Safe Snap. I think we think it's a good name for the product because it conveys the 3 keywords that are really keys here. You have the Kleros, you have the safe, because this technology relies on safe, and snap for snapshot. So basically the idea would be like to build on our strength. So our strength is the fact that this module is very basically allows to do a very deep customization and tailor basically some specific features for our customer. So you can include a DAO, you can not a DAO, constitution, and you can do a constitutional check, and that's very powerful. And at Kleros, we have some resources basically to write these constitutions. So yeah, if you have any idea or if you want to build a constitutional DAO, just let us know. And with Kleros Safe Snap, it's really possible to enforce this constitution at a DAO level. So that's one thing. I will talk about this in a meetup in Lisbon. So if you are around in 2 weeks about this specific topic. Also, what I want to emphasize regarding Kleros governance is right now we have 2 proposals that are live for voting in Snapshot. So key IP 70 and key IP 69. So if you have some PNK, please feel free to look at the proposal and vote accordingly. Basically, it's mostly parameters change and updates in some different codes. So yeah, you can have a look and please vote what you think. Yes, basically regarding integration and more the BD side, things are following up. Tomorrow I will have a call with the head of governance of Pocket Network to see how we can integrate with them. We are following up our work with ShutterDAO. If you follow Shutter ecosystem, you might very well see soon a new proposal in order to integrate Kleros Safe Snap at the layer 1 level. This will be very convenient for ShutterDAO in order to avoid to pay expensive gas fees to vote. That's a big problem for DAOs. With bull markets, the way price are pretty high, so it's expensive to vote. So we are working with Fractal team to basically craft a specific proposal for that. You should soon see it. And yes, that's basically it around governance.
Thank you, Alex. Please do vote in the governance proposal because we want to have as many people as possible participating, and because this is what a good DAO does. They have participation and a good democracy in general as well. Well, finally, I think maybe Jim, anything community-wise to comment?
I have a question for Alex. So about the governance module. So it will not be called anymore the Kleros Safe Reality Zodiac module, or it will have a bigger name, or?
We can try to find something even longer. No, but yeah, you're right. I think it's more straight to the point. Kleros Safe Snap. it makes more sense. The plugin that is in snapshot leveraging is called this Safe. That's the plugin based on what we are building. So it definitely makes sense to call it Kleros Safe Snap. So yeah.
Nice. So about the Kleros Scout, I believe you will see communications about it, and you'll probably think this is familiar because it's basically we are rebranding what our Kleros Curate Perma Curate interface that we released a couple of weeks ago. But it also means that we will use this brand to promote the registries. So if you see something you already saw, that's the reason. But at least for new people that have never heard about permacurate before, then they will see only the new branding, and it will avoid confusions. And also, of course, there were some changes on the site in between that will also make it more clear. And about
1 second, just one thing, Shin. I have an appointment with the dentist, so I have to leave now. But feel free to stay. And for those who are going to go to the Decentralized University, see you in the evening. Okay, I will leave you now. Continue with the call. Bye, guys.
Bye. See you later in the university.
So yeah, another thing is that as you might have noticed, there are a couple of new quirks. Some of these quirks are having their parameters changed in these proposals. So one of the quirks is the JavaScript development quirk, and we have only a few jurors staked in that quirk, and we plan to use it. So I recommend anyone that is proficient in JavaScript to stake there, even if it's a small stake. It will probably get a case, or you will have a high chance of getting a case. So it's highly recommended to stake in that court, and also to increase the amount of jurors and juror diversity as well. And another reminder to continue submitting items to our security metadata registries, or the registries that are part of Kleros Scout, because the awards are still ongoing. And one thing that I would like to mention, like the Lemon event that we participated on Friday, that they invited us to be a part of it, and part of the community Kleros in Buenos Aires also joined. It was one event out of several events that we were marketing events that we were doing during the week, and it's a good indication of what to expect to our official launch that we will be doing soon with Lemon. And yeah, that's it. It was pretty nice. I know Marcos was there, Juan was there, and yeah, I think that's it for me. I don't know if anyone else.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone has any other question, but if not, the rest we already set our update. So if there are no questions, I think that the community call could be ended.
Yeah, and we should definitely make no comments about last week's match, football match, because this was just a friendly game and it deserves no comment.
Yeah, the preseason, as Federico said. It was the preseason.
Yeah. Well, so thanks everyone for coming, and see you on Telegram. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.